Hi there, welcome to Acera, the Massachusetts School of Science, Creativity, and Leadership. We're going to do a 360 enabled tour of the school in a minute, so welcome to that. Just wanted you to know that the mission of our school is all about engaging students to learn whatever they're ready for and to keep alive their innate curiosity and love of figuring things out and decoding the world in school, so that they can become the best people possible in the world outside of school and as they grow into adulthood. We do this with a focus of hands-on interdisciplinary learning, projects, a deep emphasis in STEM, but also in a way that really honors the student's voice and engages the students in purposeful, meaningful work. We also have an array of different outreach offerings and after-school and summer programs, and really hope to be part of inspiring the broader world around what education can be. And what we think it should be for all students. This is only our 7th year in existence, so I founded the school with passion and a promise with no money, but here we are. We've actually been able to buy our own building. We now have 125 kids in our school, and we really take a stand for what's possible in learning and students. So come on in, let me show you more. Welcome, we're now inside the front lobby of the school. Something that's very exciting that happens here on a regular basis are amazing enrichment and outreach events that are open to everybody. So we have a STEAM Learning Lab after school and summer program that anyone can sign up for. And twice a year we have incredibly cool public outreach events filled with innovators and hands-on learning experiences, which really brings alive a wide array of innovation across many fields. So keep an eye out on our calendar and come join in for any of those. Meanwhile, if you are 360 capable and you look over there, you'll see one of our upper elementary classrooms, and over there is another one of our upper elementary classrooms, and we have our front desk. We have the lovely Esty over there, who's an architect turned educator who will be with us full-time next year. Back in that area, we have the counselor office. So let's roll on into the commons. So in the commons, oh, and there's Chris. She teaches art at our school, art and printmaking. Very cool. Miles is sadly going to be graduating at the end of the school year. Miles, what do you like about Acera?
There's lots of things that you can do, so whatever you're interested in, there you can pursue it at Acera.
Cool. Awesome. Thanks. These are impromptu things, so this is like you're really here in a real tour. People never have any idea I'm going to do this. Now, as you're peeking around, you can observe that there's a tech hub zone over here. We have a tech specialist teacher. That is Malcolm. He is the assistant director of school and also in charge of all the student services and special interventions for kids as needed. If you peek into that classroom, that's one of our intermediate elementary classrooms. Miss Katie's theme for this year is Newton's Laws of Motion, which is an incredibly cool hands-on theme. She interweaves with that all kinds of cool metacognition, ways of thinking about who you are being inside of the community of students, because we know that learning about emotional intelligence and being part of a team and being able to become really self-aware as a person is just as important as becoming really good at writing, at organizing and planning, great at math. But one of the most important ways to learn all of these things is through connecting them to themes and other things that are meaningful. So we'll now roll on by another classroom. We go past you, can't see it right now because the lights are off. But something else we do that's incredibly cool is that students get placed into the right level of a math class, which fits whatever they're ready to learn. So this year, for example, with 125 kids, we have 17 different math groups with specialist teachers who support the learning for that group of kids in a way that fits exactly where they are. In this classroom this year, right now they're doing some specialist time with Miss Vanessa, and they are rehearsing some different things involving the play they're creating. That crazy loud noise you hear in the back is coming from our innovation lab. We'll go in there in a minute. And the innovation lab includes a woodshop, which is incredibly cool. Over there, sitting inside of Miss Christine's classroom, is Gus. He is our resident neuroscientist, and he's a key person helping us launch whole new areas of focus. around research and assessment, and helping us launch new partnerships with organizations beyond our walls. A big part of our mission is that we want to do incredible learning here that is a microcosm of what is possible for our students. And in doing that, we also want to be able to start to launch a whole center for innovation and education beyond our walls. So we're constantly pilot testing and trying new things all over the school that could then be scaled and used elsewhere. So some of it is philosophical in terms of a community where students make decisions based upon being part of a good member of a community rather than just complying to rules. And part of it are specific things we pilot test here that can be used elsewhere, like Seed's Design Studio Lab as a way to connect art with STEM, or the amino microbiology box, which we'll see when we get back to the science lab. So we're going to roll into middle school. Right now they're in the middle of their Ink project time, which is Inquiry Maker and Passion projects. So students are in various places all over the school right now. Each of them has taken something that they're interested in and turned it into an actual project that they're fired up about. Okay, I have to do it. Nick, can we have a minute where you explain what your end project is?
Yeah, sure.
Cool. This is Nick. Nick's going to graduate. We're going to miss Nick.
Hi.
Hi.
My name is Nick. In case you didn't catch that beforehand. At our school, we have VR, access to VR. So we have this thing called an Oculus Rift. So you can put it on, and you can program your own reality inside of it. So this obviously opens up a lot of possibilities. You know, it's cheap to create something. It's no risk. So what can you do with this? So if you can change people's lives for the better, that's always optimal. What I chose to do was take people with fear of public speaking and try to change that. So there's another thing called fear desensitization. And so I'm using fear desensitization to get people used to talking to other people, except the people don't exist, they're in the virtual reality. Using this software, free software called Blender, I can create rooms inside of them. So I'm working with another student called Raphael who can help program it so that way if you're talking a little bit quietly or you're talking really loudly, the audience can react. So that's basically it.
That's cool. So Nick ended up galvanizing this team member to join him, and they're creating a project which could actually become real and really make a positive impact. And that's really a key part of the mission of what we're trying to achieve for all the students here, is that they're developing into the best version of themselves and into innovators and creative thinkers and leaders who can do good in the world and experience the everyday things that come up here as an opportunity to initiate and change things for the better. So now we're briefly rolling here into the Seeds Design Studio Lab. So we have a few different students working on different Seeds projects. So sorry to interrupt everybody. This is a group of middle school students. Miss Alicia is formerly of the MIT Media Lab. She has produced a few different books and presents at maker fairs and conferences actually all over the country. And also is leading point on some of our incredible educational outreach programming to train public school teachers. So this is an example of some of the kinds of things we're pilot testing here that we want more students to be able to do all over. She's in the middle of engaging with a student, or I would have her do a little mini interview. But the concept is that students can bring their stories and their ideas alive and interweave them with electronics, circuitry boards, Arduino microcomputer boards to really bring more power to their story and really connecting the aesthetics and the arts and the ideas with all of the different STEM tools, whether it's something they've soldered or programmed or woven together. So, pretty cool. Does anybody want to describe their project? I think they're really busy at work. So we'll move on around. You want to explain it? Okay, can you do that in 3 sentences? No. Yeah, it's pretty cool. He's been working on different versions of his electricity circuitry board, and it's very cool. He explained it actually at a school assembly the other day, and it was awesome, but it was about 10-minute long description.
Wasn't it
What'd you say?
Wasn't it like 3 months ago?
I said a little while ago. Did I say a month? I didn't.
You said a few days. You said a few.
She said a while ago.
Oh yeah.
Or a little bit ago.
Yeah.
It's all relative.
A little bit ago.
A little bit ago. So for me, 3 months is a little bit ago. For you, because you're a lot younger than me, it's all relative, right? Whatever.
Okay.
Thanks. All right. These are looking cool. So we'll roll on out of here and we'll go into the innovation lab next. Thanks, you guys.
Welcome. We have 2% now.
Okay, thank you for that update, guys. So this 360 video is actually another example of a student-generated imp project. The sponsors and leads of it being Kai and Kuno, who you can see, if you, again, are 360 capable. They're at the back of their rig that they've created for this 360 video. So our middle school program in total has up to 50 students in it and an array of different teachers who become part of middle school electives, literature and humanities, and book group discussions, whole classroom themes. A very rich program offering with a wide array of incredible, just unbelievable people. Exactly the kind of people you want your kids to be with. So over there, this is a different group of students working on the imp project. This is the woodshop and engineering zone, led by Josh, who has 15 years experience as an engineer, and now is our full-time woodshop and engineering teacher. All right, can we roll on around actually this way? We'll go over here. So in this zone is an art zone. Art is pretty cool because you can do that everywhere. So art happens here, but it happens in every classroom, all over the place, on the playground, on the walls of the building. There are murals kids have generated. Again, that's Josh. So now we are going to head on into the science lab. Very cool thing about Acera is a lot of the interdisciplinary learning and thematic learning is built around scientific ideas because it helps people be systems thinkers. Additionally, there are also explicit science lab times where especially upper elementary and middle school students get to do amazing hands-on science labs where they have a role to discover and figure things out while they're in the lab, instead of following a basic recipe textbook type of approach. So here's Michael to talk a little bit about that.
That's correct, Miss Courtney. Hi, my name is Michael, and this is the Acera Science Lab. Here we do hands-on activities to explore a wide variety of scientific phenomena in the fields of biology, chemistry, and biochemistry. Past projects have included electrochemistry, the molecular gastronomy in cheese and yogurt, and common molecular biological reactions, including restriction, enzyme digest, and transformations.
So another very cool thing about Acera, and explicitly in the science lab as well, is how we pilot test cool things here that we hope can be translated into the world beyond our walls. Our science lab and Michael were picked as the places in person to pilot test the amino, which is a format for microbiology. So maybe you could give a description of that.
Sure. Molecular biology is a field of science, is a discipline of science where scientists discover and study cells on a molecular level. And
I'll get out the box just so they can see
yeah,
it.
and that entails being able to use enzymes and sensitive reagents to biohack microorganisms. Experiments with this include everything from CRISPR to RNAi to genetic engineering. And every year we do a little bit of that, and whatever year you're coming is no exception.
So this is the Amino, which is a platform that could enable kids all over the country to do microbiology in
Yes,
science labs.
this takes the place of $20,000 worth of lab equipment and puts it into one neat little box.
Awesome. So we'll take you outside now. Let's jump on out.
Hi everyone!
Thank you, Michael, so much.
You're welcome. Bye. I'm gonna go back to doing science now.
So like when is he talking to the microphones?
So we're going to head on outside to check out our very creative playground. So if we had our druthers, we would have our playground be next to a forest in a meadow so we could build things and make things and experiment. Well, we can't be next to a forest and a meadow and also have incredible partnerships with scientists and thought leaders all over Boston, because that's too far away. So instead, we've transformed an industrial office park into an incredibly cool creative play space, which looks a little bit like a junkyard, but at the same time has really cool stuff that can turn into all different kinds of creative play implements. So
Teacher!
right now,
I shall not let you keep going.
our school day, stay after school and do enrichment programming, and many other kids come from other schools and join in for our after-school creative computing and robotics club, or science lab, or Seeds Design Electronic Arts Studio with Miss Alicia. So all these kinds of cool things that we have during the school day are part of the same offerings that we offer in summer program and after school. Let's talk about school. So the reason I brought you over here is so you can see up in the tree. At our school, build cool things in the trees. You can see some pterodactyls. So they'll build things in the morning in wood shop that turn into play implements on the playground. There are cables woven through trees that students create different types of really cool play structures and balancing things. During an actual playground time, you will see kids playing foursquare, basketball, ball off the wall, tetherball, multi-age soccer, and then you'll see another whole group of kids doing different types of creative things out here, like fort building and just different kinds of incredibly cool games that they make up. We actually take play really seriously here because that's a time in school where you actually get to really practice being part of a team and solving problems and leading and trying new things. So in summary, that's actually what this whole school is about and what our whole mission is about, is to enable kids at Acera and then hopefully to influence education beyond Acera to be places where kids can truly become the best version of themselves in a way that fits their learning style, their interests, their needs, and their capabilities, to uniquely arm them to become the innovators, the creative problem solvers, and the leaders that we need in our world. Have a great rest of your day, and thanks for being on our tour.